everything sucks and we are not in my kitchen.
No, welcome.
We are at the Avocado Cafe here in San Antonio, Texas, and I have some really great friends with me here today. If y'all can introduce yourself in the cafe, we'll get rolling.
Yay. Hi, I'm Felicia, and this is my brother. Very single and wonderful younger brother.
Thank you very much, Sister Felicia. Yeah, my name is Tripp, and we're co-owners of the Avocado Cafe with our parents, Scott and Gigi.
So, I'm glad we made the differentiation that y'all are siblings.
And whole life it's been a thing. So we just want to get ahead. She's got kids, she's married. All the way over there.
Yeah.
So every week we have been talking about great topics, cooking with avocados. So I figured it was time to see the experts, someone who can really teach us a thing or two as we talk about healthy living. With that, what are we making today?
Cool. So today this is going to be one of my favorite surprise meals that I've made. It's a healthy veggie with a little bit of bacon, because you say you like bacon. You gotta slip some meat in there. Stir fry with brown rice and quinoa, and then we're going to do an avocado rose on top. It's going to look good. So for me, like almost 90% really of a meal is flavor, and then that 10%, which is really important, is presentation. So if the food doesn't look good, it won't taste as good. So we're going to try our best to make it look nice. So if there's any wood, knock on it for us.
So let's start cutting some avocados.
So let's go into this. So avocados, there's a bunch of different thoughts on how to cut an avocado. Yes. I would love to see yours. You've been doing it for a while.
Okay.
And then we'll see what I do. So there's no wrong way.
No pressure.
There was this one, we had one guest who told us that she cut an avocado kind of around the middle, which I definitely didn't think was kosher. But what I'll do is I usually find the flattest part of the avocado, and then I'll cut around it.
We're on the same trap, man. So here, if I can give you one little, I know I asked you to do it, but I would recommend. On the whole thing. This was one of those, there's no wrong answer. We have learned. Do exactly what you're doing.
Beyonce had the greatest album of all time. I'm going to let you finish.
Just let me finish real quick. I would recommend cutting it just outside of this. That way you don't split the little nasty brown part.
Okay.
So just like that.
So right here.
Yep, and you got the
right
rest
on
of it.
Side of the
Perfect.
On the side of the thing.
Done.
And so I just kind of go around. And then I open it up. God, I feel like I'm being tested. This is my final exam.
There you go. See what you did.
Beautiful.
You know exactly what you're doing. So just because, Felicia, you want to cut this one?
Go for it.
Okay. So we'll go through, because that is literally exactly how I do it. Pop. You even cut yours smoother than mine. I have a little lip.
Well, I mean, what I did in smooth, you made up for in speed. That was just fluid motions.
It takes a lot to get to this point. So,
how many avocados do you cut a day?
A day? Over 50. I feel like that's a safe number.
Yeah,
I feel like, because we're going through it quite a bit. It goes with just about everything, and we like to make all of our stuff fresh.
Sure.
I mean, because look how pretty these are. Some of them.
Green is so rich,
And we try to kick it out before it oxidizes and all that other stuff. So we'll go ahead for fun. Keep these guys off to the side.
Okay.
Little thing you may or may not know. If you want to have an avocado last longer without oxidizing, keep the pit in it.
Awesome.
Because that's going to keep those. These will turn a lot quicker than these will because of this guy.
Okay.
So we got that. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to have you, if you would, please chop up this zucchini I got.
Okay.
And you can do that however you want, man.
Okay.
There's no follow-up trap to that one.
Do we want small chunks or little chunks?
Let's do
big chunk.
Yeah,
small or little.
I like tiny. I prefer tiny. Yeah. But no, small. Let's go small. Because what we're going to do is we're going to be mixing a couple things together.
Okay. So as we're chopping up the zucchini, you're going to chop up, these are peppers?
Sweet bell peppers.
Sweet bell peppers.
So bell peppers are great. You get these little sweet dudes. You can find them at pretty much any supermarket. They add such a great fragrance to any meal that you have, and then also the flavor is so good. This is one of my go-tos personally. Almost everything I make at the restaurant is something that I want to eat, which is one of those bittersweet things. I know someone will love this meal I'm now giving up for myself. So. But we go through this guy. You're doing a good job, man. You're doing a good job.
So the Avocado Cafe. how did this come to be?
It was a lifetime in the making that finally came to life in 2012. Okay. My mom and I were hanging out, not really doing too much. She had just finished one of her degrees, and I was working on my master's, and we had always said, you either need to write a cookbook or you need to open a restaurant. Okay. And we're like, you know what? Let's open a restaurant. We can do that. We had never, ever been in the food industry before. Okay. So, but we do like to go out to eat a lot.
A little bit.
And so,
so you have this side of experience on it, right?
Right. Yeah. So every time we would go out, we would say, you know, this place would be really great if they had this, or if they didn't do that, or, you know, X, Y, Z. So we got to the point where we're like, well, let's just open a restaurant and do it the way we want to do it. So we, you know, got everything secondhand. We took all of my mom's recipes, and we decided on the name of Avocado Cafe because the avocado embodies what we want to bring here. You know, it's beautiful. Sure. Everybody likes it.
Yes, this is true.
If you don't, you're still okay.
That's right.
And
we forgive you.
Yeah. And you can do so much with it, and it's just a beautiful, wonderful thing. Sure. And then we added juice bar onto it too because we realized that there was not a juice bar anywhere around us in San Antonio at the time, and so we were like, you know, if we throw a juice bar onto this, people are going to come for the avocado and the juices.
Like halfway
and
through.
It's pretty awesome. People have responded super well
just
to
like that. Just like that.
So I realized that I cut this zucchini too big. So
I'm
cutting it a little smaller. There's this great thing that happens with entrepreneurship where you are, if the inception of whatever you're creating is a line, you're on one time on this side of the line, and then you make the plunge, you sign the legal documents, and you're on the other side of the line. But that line is really scary for a lot of people.
It is.
What was the driving factor that got you from this side of that line to the other side to create such a beautiful place?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it was really, my mom and I decided we were going to do it, and, you know, what does Dad call it? Dogging?
Oh, yeah, being dogged. Just kind of biting down on something and committing to it.
Yeah, you say you're going to do something. We said we were going to do it. We saw a need for it. We knew people were going to love it and needed it. So we committed, and we just said, you know what? Either we'll fail, and that's okay, and we tried, or we're going to be successful, and that's okay because we're awesome.
So it's really just being okay with the outcome and understanding that there is going to be an outcome. We really need to just be okay with whatever happens when we get there.
Better to try it and it not work than to not try it.
Sure.
You know?
There needs to be a healthy level of honey badger mixed into it, just so you can do it and give it a shot.
Okay, so as we cut this zucchini, which I am cutting into smaller chunks because tiny is better, what is our next move here with our dish?
All right, so what I've got going on back here is I've got some olive oil heating up, and we're going to be cutting up all of our veggies first. Okay. So the idea is that we get what we want portioned out, and then we're going to throw it on there, and then we're going to saute it up and season it as we go.
Awesome.
I've got, just to kind of break down everything we got the bacon, we got zucchini, we got the sweet bell pepper, we've got a brown rice quinoa kind of garlic mix thing, and then I've also got some kale and spinach.
Okay.
On the whole, the way to survive and live forever, dark greens, dark veggies, dark veggies, and then dark fruit. So blueberry, blackberry, spinach, kale. If you get those in you, ideally through the mouth in a delicious meal way. Or a smoothie, yeah, just as long as you ingest it.
I prefer my blueberries injected.
Yeah, just get a little spoon action there. As long as you get it in, they'll help you from getting sick and then also recover quicker from being sick. They're super good for you. Of course, with anything, moderation. I mean, if you're inhaling smoothie after smoothie, then it's going to have a blowback there.
Okay, so how do these chopped zucchinis look better?
Perfect. No, they're great, man. We're going to get rid of that little nub dude. He's done. Fine.
Nub dude is done.
So we got these guys going. We're going to be using this a little bit. I want to see, just for fun, man, chop these guys up.
Okay,
so the way I did it, and I promise I'm not going to set up a trap like with the avocado, is I cut off the top, and then I cut it down the middle, and I seeded it. A lot of different people have different opinions on peppers and bell peppers. A lot of people say that all the flavor and really the nutrients and stuff are at the bottom of it. Depends person to person. Personally, I don't like the tips, man. I feel like for some reason those are like the not edible parts,
Yeah.
even though it's probably the best part. But yeah. So you do what you're comfortable with eating, man.
Okay, I will do my best.
Do you like spice?
May or may not be good enough. Absolutely.
Oh,
Yay.
Absolutely.
You're kind of spice?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm the biggest spice
I'm just
sissy
glad
out
I
there.
don't have to cook dinner tonight.
Oh, this is going with them, man.
Oh.
Each one of the viewers, we got to mail one of these out to you. It's a deceivingly large portion here.
Fishes and loaves, man. Fishes
That's
and loaves.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I have to ask y'all.
Please.
Y'all came on this side. You've got this great business going. Why avocados?
Well, when we first were when Felicia and Gigi were looking things over, they wanted to find, A, what niche isn't being filled in San Antonio, then also how we can better serve the community and the just people in general.
Sure.
What they found, and one of those like bummer facts about San Antonio is for years, we've been on a bad list. We've been on the list of one of the unhealthiest cities in America, which is a bummer. It's all tacos. Man, it's one of those, we're happy because we get all the good food, but the byproduct's less than great.
Sure.
So they decided that they wanted to go a healthier route. So we
Okay.
tried to figure out, okay, what's the healthiest thing out there that we can apply in the most dishes? And that's when they narrowed it down to avocados, because you can do everything with an avocado. An avocado goes with almost everything. You throw it in smoothies, milkshakes, meals. I mean, babies can eat it. It's great. So we narrowed it down to that because, like she was saying before, they're pretty, and they're healthy, and they're fun. Once we start cutting those, you'll see what I'm talking about, man.
Okay, so I'm doing moderately okay.
Dude, you're doing great, man.
I'm gonna blame the gloves. I normally don't cook with gloves.
I gave you the bad ones, too.
I know. I'm just gonna blame everything except my own skill level because that's how I roll. Passing the blame.
I had taught a couple of friends how to cook, and the most common feedback I got from them when it came to cooking was just like, oh, I don't feel confident doing it, so I don't do it.
Interesting.
So you're great because you're doing it. And that's
appreciate
how you get
that.
better, because I wasn't a cook. End statement. I was not a cook. I couldn't cook. I had maybe 2 meals that I had down, and then a couple years into the cafe, I decided, well, if I'm going to be here, I want to know how to make it as well.
Sure.
And then I've dedicated myself. Now I'm the cook. So that Gigi can have a little bit more time to do all the admin stuff. And it's one of those, like, I'm not saying I'm fantastic, but I am better than where I was 4 years ago. That's
awesome.
Because I just said, okay, you're going to do it. Honey Badger, I'm in.
And you care, too, and that's a huge part of it, too, is,
Heart.
you know, the energy that you put into the food that you're making, be it for yourself or for other people, it carries through.
It really
so
does.
People who come in and,
make sure this is hot.
You know, they get an eggs Benedict. You know,
Sure.
you can get an eggs Benedict at a bunch of different places, but there's something about ours that's so magical, and it's because it's family centered. It's all about, you know, caring about the people who are going to eat it and putting good juju, good vibes.
Good vibes.
Love. Yeah.
Good vibes.
Depends how hippie you want to go with it. We'll take it off right there.
All right, so we've cut up the sweet bell peppers and
They
the
look great.
zucchini.
So now this is and this is the thing about this meal. It's super easy. You just chop stuff up. You throw it on the heat. So let's go ahead and make it easy. We'll do a little bit portioned at a time. We'll get off any undesirable looking parts.
Okay.
A heads up with zucchini and yellow squash. They are registered up there with like apples on one of the heavily most pesticided, if that's a proper way of putting that.
It is now.
Pesticided. It's a word because I said it. But no, food's out there, so if you're ever going to be cooking with them, either peel them or do what I did and clean it off with like vinegar or some natural cleaner.
Good to
That
know.
way you can skip any long-term Monsanto grade poisons. I don't know if they're your sponsor. I don't want. I mean, they're
No
great.
sponsor.
That's not. Oh, yeah, Monsanto.
We're
No.
safe. Awesome.
No. So we got all this stuff here, which is
Okay.
good. I'm gonna keep this guy over there. We will add more.
Okay.
I just want to pop this on there. So
Sure.
we got the oil. You want, dude? You gotta have the honor. So you want to
Oh, sure.
blocking?
Just kinda-
go ahead and just pour it on there, man. Nice.
There it is. Bam.
So a good trick when it comes to cooking is try to have your pan hot before adding the oil, and then try to have your oil hot before adding the food.
Oh,
Because if you don't, it takes longer and it cooks differently. And then there's the whole, like, there's this weird science that comes down to cooking. I believe overall it's an art, but
Yeah.
then you can't deny stuff like the temperature in the house and the building outside,
Sure.
where the wind's blowing will change how things cook.
And bake too.
And
yeah,
baking.
definitely goes in.
She bakes. All right, man. So how much pan experience do you have? Because I have a hard muscle
Very
memory.
little. All right. We usually don't cook with a pan on the on the show. So this is
well, this is
brand new
big.
for us.
All right, man. So
to us.
don't let me put you in a situation you're not comfortable with, because if you mess up, there's going to be a fire. But don't let that stop you. So what I'm going to show you to do is you just kind of do like this little shake thing. You could get away just doing that, but if you do like a push and back, like a kind of think. Did you ever do like fake fencing as a kid, where it's like on guard?
Yeah, lightsabers.
Yeah, there you go. So that part where you're going to finish them off and come back, that's really what you're doing, is just that back and forth. Okay, so just as much as you feel comfortable putting the force into it. Oh, dude, you're almost there. Try to get it a little bit more towards the end. Okay, cool. Now do it. Oh, I saw two. The 2 or 3 were 4, man.
2 dices came up. I'm really apprehensive about burning this place down.
We got it.
You are the guy who destroyed the Avocado Cafe. We hate you now.
So what we got is we just have this cooking for a little bit. Awesome. We want it to kind of spread out, and I need to grab one of my little utensils here. One of the things about being in a mom and pop shop is that all these utensils we grew up with. And then also, like, one of the weird ways I saw my mom cook is if something needed to be moved, just move it. So I'll be cooking with our new sous chefs or with other staff and stuff, and like there'll be a chicken in the boiling pot. I'm like, oh, I need chicken. I'll just grab it. And they'll be like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. But someone call for help. I seriously burnt myself. So
what are you doing? I don't know.
Listen, just get it.
As far as the temperature goes, I've always grown up on the numbered dial thing, so you'll be able to see that we're somewhere at like 5.5, 6.
Sure.
When you're sauteing veggies like this, especially with a zucchini or eggplant that really absorbs what you're cooking them in, you don't want it high heat because it's going to cook it too quick. So we're just going to kind of let this go. I'm going to mix it every now and then. What we want to do now, dude, let's get our avocado roses ready, man. That's go. That's good. Let's do that. So I'm going
avocado roses.
I've not seen you actually do this yet. I've only seen the finished product, so I'm super excited.
Oh, man. As long as this isn't recorded.
Oh, no.
All right, man. So we're going to grab this stuff, move this out of the way. Oh, actually, you want to chop up the bacon super quick?
How big do we need it?
Dude, here, can I show you one and then you do the other? All right, I'll do the big one, then you can do that.
We all know how well the zucchini went.
Just all the way down the line.
Yeah.
So,
I'm doing a great job.
Yeah, you were flying.
That was great.
There you go.
Oh, great. Now I actually have to do it.
So I'm going to be bouncing back and forth here, making sure that, the food tastes good and isn't burnt.
It's really cool. One of the things that we have on the menu here, the way that Tripp started learning about all of this stuff in particular, is we have a thing called a surprise me on the menu.
Okay.
So, people who come in here, a lot of them have like dietary restrictions or preferences. And so we make something completely off menu that suits their needs.
That's awesome.
And so he's been able to play and, make some really cool stuff that some of the things have even made it onto the actual menu.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Super cool.
We ask what you cannot eat, like a dietary restriction, or what you do not like to eat, like a food preference, and then we just make.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I would love to just have a place where that's it. So people come in and say, surprise me, and I say, look, you got a half hour, 45 minutes, I'll make you something. And then they say, fine, and they pay like $200 for it, and we just call it a day.
That's the dream.
That's the dream, I'm not asking for a lot. So the way I did it, again, muscle memory, I apologize, is I stunned it, and then I twisted it, and I moved it to the side. So I'm going to pop this guy down here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
now I'm going to do it.
Now you're going to do it.
Okay, stab and twist to the side.
Nice.
Bam.
Perfect. So then there's a couple different ways you can knock it off. I feel cool doing it this way, where you just knuckle it off. So there's a little garbage right here.
Oh, so we don't want to keep the seeds?
Nah. Oh. We can keep that one.
We missed the garbage. It's not like it's a huge target.
Would you like to keep a seed?
No.
Throw it in a smoothie down the road? There are the health benefits.
So what are the health benefits of the seed?
Yeah. So the health benefits of the seed is that if you were to blend them up into a smoothie, and this is starting to get a little bit softer, so I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit to buy some time. If you throw it into a smoothie and you mix it in with whatever you want, it adds kind of like a bitter flavor to it. It's fantastic for your GI tract. It is, a seed that you are mixing in. So imagine like oats when you put it into a smoothie, how things get really thick. It's going to get a little thick. But as long as you have something like a Vitamix, then that can blend rocks, then you're totally set.
And you can grate it too.
You can grate it.
One of the things it has is cancer-fighting properties. So, if you've got any kind of family history with that or concerns with that, that's an awesome thing to throw in there too.
All right.
That's awesome. What are some of the other benefits of, we've been eating and talking about avocados now for all summer. Right. What are some of the things that we've been doing good for our bodies that we had no idea about, eating so many dang avocados?
Well, there's a couple of different things, and this is one of those, it's a long list, so I'm going to pick my favorite highlights and what I personally believe in.
Awesome.
Great source of potassium. So, like, I can't eat banana. So after a workout, if my muscles are sore and I'm like, man, I need that energy return to me, eat some avocado.
Okay.
It's also got a lot of, you guys hooking a brother up?
I'm going to participate.
Thank you. All right.
I helped. I made dinner.
She made it. And I helped. Yeah, no, it's a great source of potassium. It's also a healthy source of fats. It's got antioxidants. It's just a superfood. So you want in your diet fats, which sounds like wrong. But if you get the right ones, like in salmon, avocado, and then like a level of chicken, occasional steak. And I'll throw it out there, man, because I know you like it. Pork. Pork in moderation is fantastic. Like, my favorite meal is like a pork belly street taco.
Oh my goodness.
With like a cilantro au jus sauce on there, man.
Yeah.
Ooh, no, that's what I want. But it's comprehensive. It's one of the superfoods. It's up there with like kale.
Dude.
I love it. I love it. All right, so let's take a look at this real quick.
So our stir fry stirring.
The fry stirring. All right. So what we got right here is we got everything a little bit softer now. I'm gonna grab my favorite seasoning, which is a roasted garlic and rosemary and sea salt.
Okay.
It's great. It's easy. Ready to go, and then we're gonna do a little bit on top. So I'm gonna do this time. You're gonna see how much, and then next time we add stuff in, you're gonna do it. It's gonna be in tiers. So just when you do it, just kind of do like think of like, oh, I'm gonna tell you a story kind of thing. Like, I don't know how much of a hand, or you're gonna throw some dice. Let's do that
throwing
way.
Dice.
So you just kind of shake a little bit out, and then just go across the whole thing.
All right. Yeah.
And once we got that, gonna mix it up again. Then we're going to want to throw that bacon in there to get some of that bacon juice going. Got to get that flavor.
Bacon. Love it.
The kind of good fat, yeah.
The good kind, the other kinds.
The other good.
The other good.
So a way to kind of make bacon better would be to bake it. I don't know if that's like a common thing, but that's something that we do here because you can fry it, you can throw it in a pan, let it cook its own stuff. If you throw it in an oven at 350 for like 45 minutes, you've got good bacon. And it's a healthier way. I don't know why I'm doing it. It is actually a healthier, it's a healthier way. So, well, for me, bacon, man, it's like one of those like bitter love stories of like scorn from the past. Because I used to eat like only pork. And now, slowly but surely, because I want to do other things.
Yeah. Like live.
Talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves.
So how many avocados do y'all go through a week?
You go through about 50 a day.
About.
Yeah.
So a couple.
And we're open
hundred.
6 days a week, so that's
the math. 300, right? 300.
A lot of avocados. And we use them in here too, but we also use them in smoothies and in milkshakes.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
We use a whole bunch.
So tell me about the milkshake, because people think avocado, they're not thinking milkshake like right immediately. Where did that come from?
When my parents are both, they retired Air Force and then they went to teach for the Department of Defense.
Okay.
And so we were over in Korea and we had a Filipino student who was there who the only way that she had ever had avocado was in a milkshake. So she thought we were weird for putting it like on toast. And she's like, no, you gotta try it. So we're like, okay. So we tried it and we're like, you know what? This is actually pretty amazing. So we, shot it out there. I have not met a single person who has tried it and been like, I don't like that. They've either been like, this is the most amazing thing in the world, or they're like, okay, it's good. But I've never met anyone who's like, that's not good.
So I came about 3 weeks ago. And I visited and hung out, and I tried the avocado milkshake. And it was awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Fantastic.
It was like that perfect blend of sweet, but not overpoweringly sweet. Like, I'm going to feel this in like 5 minutes. You could taste the avocado, but it wasn't right there, so it just was creamy. Big fan. Yay!
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Yeah, it's the magic of avocados. It just mixes so beautifully, and then you keep it nice and firm. Forget about it. Now, I do realize that I did say, oh, we're going to do the avocado roses, and then didn't. So I've got the kale and the spinach cooking to kind of catch up with the other veggies.
Awesome.
You do the harder or longer to cook things first, which would be the zucchini and the bell pepper, and then you throw in stuff that cooks relatively quickly, like spinach and kale. So we got a minute. So with an avocado rose, I'm going to show you first, hopefully well, and then we're going to go from there. I like to use this guy because it doesn't stick very much.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the best way I can like convey how to pick a good knife. Get one of these bigger dudes, not culinary trained, so all of my stuff is dudes and things. Like this is my black bro. He helps me out. What you want to do is something that has a good grip so that you can get as small cuts as possible. Okay. So when you're going through, you want to get as small as possible. Not too small like I just did though. So let's mark this guy over here. And then keep it down.
So we're just slicing vertically through the avocado.
That is well said, sir. You should narrate a food thing, man. I'm telling you. Because you get a lot of listeners, so they're not even going to see this.
We're on the podcast app as well as on Facebook. Okay. So there's a lot of different types of interactions with our show. So sometimes I have to be very verbal with what I'm doing. Right. Which is different. Like the simple thing like an avocado falling on the floor and not at all in the garbage. If you can't see that, you don't know that happened.
So when I said
that totally didn't happen here, by the way.
No, not at all.
I definitely didn't do that.
That was a story from earlier that So once you got all the slices done, what you want to do, how was I teaching someone? Karate chop. Okay. But not super hard. So when I say karate chop, kind of this part of the hand. So with your
softer part of your palm.
There you go. Softer part of your palm's on the outside. Again, like if you're going to chop someone, judo chop, whatever. So you're coming in at that angle. You're just going to kind of slowly apply a little bit of pressure. Use your thumbs to adjust.
Spread them out.
You're just going to spread it out.
In a vertical motion.
In a vertical motion. I love this. Describing our food as we cook.
Yeah, there was a time where I could speak good. But then after a while of being in the kitchen and being like, I need this now, it's...
this dude and this dude.
I need that guy there and then this thing here, together. And then we're going to bring it all back. So the big thing to keep in mind with the rows is that there's a bunch of different ways it could turn out. Just kind of, you have to commit. So I'm going to commit on here. So
which is a great theme of what we're talking. Yes. We decide we're going to open up an avocado cafe. We commit to it. We're going to make a rose with avocados. We're going to commit to it,
Got to commit to it.
Great
message.
So
once you get it, you want it to try to be as thin as possible. I'm keeping mine a little thick design-wise, all intentional. Once you have that done, you want to have, so I parted it in a vertical manner going north to south like this. So the leftmost hemisphere went due north, and then the right hemisphere went south. So I'm going to take the left side of the avocado, and I'm gonna kind of curve him in a little bit. So you kind of want like a Captain Hook claw to start off, and then you just kind of push him into his friends. So push him in here, and then if you see if it fights you a little bit, like mine is, you just kind of push him back in there.
Cool.
So
this is amazing.
This is beautiful, Tripp.
Oh, well, thank you guys so much. I'll slip you a 20 later. All right, so you got this guy. I'm very confident yours is going to come out better because we're going to try a little bit different, so don't worry. So then we got this dude. I'm going to put him out of the way.
All right.
Man. I'm serious. Yours is going to be so much better. All right, so I got to switch this guy up real quick. So what I need you to do is I need you to peel your avocado. Okay. I like to. You don't have to. Cut the very tip up. I don't like food that doesn't look nice. Yeah. And I also don't like wasting food, so try to make it as thin as possible, like right off the tip. Sure. I believe in you.
All right, here we go. So I'm cutting that ugly part off the top of the avocado.
Yes, sir.
Thinly.
Thinly. So if you
flawless job.
Worked perfectly.
Not at all clumsily.
No. If you ever have like a dull knife or something that's just not cutting, and you're cutting something like tomatoes or avocados that are notoriously just awful for knives, get that first cut it in half, and then cut from the inside. That was we had a chef buddy. I won't use his name because I'm kind of picking on him now. Who was struggling with a knife that he hadn't had a chance to sharpen. He's like, I can't cut this tomato. I'm like, well, from the inside. He's like, oh, all right, okay. Yeah. That was something I learned that day too. It's one of those. Cute. Every day's a puzzle. Can you grab me a paper towel, please?
Paper towel.
Thank you.
And I am definitely just peeling the avocado. So, what are some things that we can apply to our daily lives to help us make healthier choices? Because being healthy in San Antonio even is definitely not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of my answers are going to be very cliche. Set a goal. Have an image, and then kind of go over there. Like for those business students listening, make a VPA, vision, plan, action.
Yes.
Where do you want to be in X amount of months? How do you plan to do there, or how do you plan to get there, and then do it. So you take a hit, because I'm going to mess with this for a sec.
But a very important part of that, too, is not just following what other people say, following the trends and the fads and the all of those diet things that are going on, but to listen to your body. And so, you know, your gut is more than just like your gut. You know, it's your intuition, and your body is always talking to you. So if you're eating something that doesn't feel good to you, either like a little, your stomach feels funny, you get a little gassy, or you just like don't feel right.
Sure.
That means don't eat that.
Interesting.
You know? Listen to your body, and if you feel like you're craving something, then that means that your body is needing a nutrient from whatever you're craving. So, you know, and I had a thing on the top of my head too, like if you're craving chocolate, you need something, and I can't remember what that was. So you guys need to Google that, do your homework, and if you're craving something, be like, what is in what this is, you know, and that means your body needs
I see what you're saying. So yeah. Not going to contribute and help at all, but I know what you're saying. So,
I understand you.
So like when you work out, if you're craving pasta, that's your body saying it needs carbs, it needs that quick energy, easily to digest. If you're like craving a steak, that means that you need the protein to refill your muscles, stuff like that.
Makes sense to me.
Let's see your rows.
So now I'm going to do the rows.
So you can do it like I did, like this, which you saw how well that went at first, or you can just go nice and slow. Try it. You just want to get it to try to be as thin as possible. That's no problem. If you want to try this, camera people in the audience, you're more than welcome to. I have some extra. And Felicia, since this is your first time seeing it, dude, we got one just for you. It's meant to be.
It is. I'm excited.
Counted it out.
I've never done it before.
He's doing, see, look, like I say, he's doing so much better.
This is really a life lesson on discipline and cutting and not cutting off digits and fingers.
Once you do a cut, don't go back.
And like, you know, not being afraid. You know,
and making mistakes. And learning from them.
Everybody makes mistakes all the time.
All right, man. Let's see.
So now we're gonna
Hong Kong Fu. Yeah. So you want to kind of get in this area, like here, and then you're gonna. Yeah, man. See if you got it. So hit one side and then push on the other. Cool. So like, since you're going to push him up, you want to push down on the other side. So it's kind of like this.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There you go.
Like you're breaking his
Dude, I'm telling you, his is gonna be better. Should I be like one of those cooks who like freaks out if it's better? Like, oh, get out of here! Doing this for 6 years. Oh yeah, Gordon. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so I am doing the things.
You're doing it great, man. You're doing it great. Try to drag this guy out a little bit more.
Okay.
Cool. I'm also not just pumping him up. He's doing a really. Seriously, this is gonna turn out really well. Try if I could.
Oh no! Make all the adjustments you need.
Just a little tip boy. It's right up there. There you go. All right, cool. So now you're gonna do the hook.
All right, we're gonna hook it around at the top like this.
And then when you're doing it, you're gonna maintain because it's gonna want to fall. You're gonna maintain here, and you're just gonna keep turning it into itself. And feel free to like apply pressure. Yeah, dude. He's got.
Yay, Andrew.
All right.
I'm proud. This looks really good.
I'm so nervous right now. Everything I'm doing is like a challenge.
When you guys show photos, let's be sure to, get the labels right here.
There it is.
Honest to goodness, that's fantastic.
Okay.
I'm serious, dude. Right here.
Thank you.
Look at that. Is there a way we can hold it up without risking it falling everywhere?
Oh, absolutely. This is it. We will be showing pictures at the link and everything like this, but
we'll be getting there, man.
All right.
So
it's like a weight has been lifted off.
That was the hardest part. So now the next part is literally just pouring rice in now. So
did you?
You did.
Awesome.
Made that.
So just pour it in.
Just pour it in?
Pour it in.
So this is
Let's do
quinoa?
like half? 3/4 of it, man. Yeah, leave just a little bit. Brown rice and quinoa with a little bit of garlic. Garlic is so good for you. One of the things we learned while in Asia is almost all of the countries that we were, Korea, Japan, and a little bit in China, garlic's very strong, very heavy there. And they're also some of the healthiest and longest living people. Like in Korea, like the pastime for the elderly is to hike a mountain to get to the workout spot. They have like little parks with a whole workout system. So they'll hike up, work out, and then hike back down. And that's just what they do. Okinawans are the longest living in the world because they eat just so healthy. Their food's that's the torture.
Not at all putting me to shame here with my cookies and ice cream and popsicles.
I'm gonna do a little bit more olive oil. Nah, man, it's one of the tortures on like the whole insight into the mind of a restaurateur. It's torture because you were around food all day and you get maybe 5 minutes to eat something. Like, wouldn't you what do you eat at work?
Oh, I like what's left over at
What's left over?
Maybe a couple bites of something.
I'll have a thing I call cat food. It's the plainest tuna you can find. No salt. It's kept in water with 2 just plain old poached eggs and then some turmeric and olive oil. And then I just mash that up with rice. I forgot, and rice. That's my meal, man.
Dude.
So it's one of those, like, we talk food all day, we see food all day, but you don't eat. And that's another thing I think I thought of when you were talking about it earlier about that line between being here and there. A thing that totally blew us away, it's how people interact with the service industry.
Yeah.
And how there's such a skewed view of what's acceptable and what's not.
Sure.
Like, we've been blessed. We have great customers. We have people like you coming through, cool, fun, eclectic. Every once in a while we'll have somebody who is particular, which is fine. When it comes to food, you should be. But then you get people who just assume that because you are saying, how can I help you?
Yeah.
They're like, well, I am now better than you.
Well, let me tell you.
Yeah. I mean, it's just,
this is not okay.
So one of those things, and thankfully there's this nice idea going around that, especially with millennials and people who appreciate avocados especially, that being nice to your server is the right thing to do. And it's like weird that that's like we've made it.
It's cool to be nice to people.
Yeah. I mean, like, have you had any experiences with that? Or
no, absolutely. And as someone who recently worked in the hospitality industry in high school, you know, I understand that side of like, hey, these people are unnecessarily mean to me. You know, I don't want to be like that to someone who's doing something nice because they, you know, need a job and they need to create a living for themselves.
And they're trying.
That's
the other thing.
Know,
So
what a time to be alive.
Yeah, but
let's go.
It is definitely trending now to be nice to servers. So keep it up, guys. Unless they're like the worst server ever, still be nice. But you know,
just be like, hey, you have room for improvement.
Yeah,
but I believe in you.
Believe in you. I'm throwing in a little bit of turmeric. So turmeric is another one of those super spices where if you throw turmeric in with a little black pepper, which I have mixed in with the rice. Let me try to remember all the hoity-toity words for it. It bypasses the membranes in the brain to give it direct energy. If you toss that in with some salmon, it really does help you think faster and process information better. Plus, it's good for the upper hemisphere.
Sure.
I mean, it's great. Plus, it looks beautiful, which honestly was the first reason I started using it, and then I did research. I'm like, oh, this looks great, and then what does it do? So I threw a little turmeric in.
So we've got a lot of stuff going on in this pan right now.
Yeah.
All the things we've been putting on.
Right.
So what are we going to? Is this a thing where we're going to put it on the plate and then put the roses around it, or like how's this all coming together?
We're going to use this dish. We're going to line it up. Going to pat it down tight.
Okay.
And then we're going to pop it on and flip it over. Then we're going to pop the rose right on top. That way you'll have like a tiered thing.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be really nice. It's going to be really nice. Yeah. Now, I mean, we could get a bowl, which would be great.
This is true. But the presentation,
it's
got to
fun.
look
It's part of it.
beautiful.
Plus, it's got to be fun, man. I mean, a lot of people, especially people who are just starting out cooking, are doing it out of like, I need to survive, or I'm on a budget and I can't eat out anymore, and it's very stressful. If you find ways to make it interesting, you'll do it more. You'll just do it more. So.
Yeah.
Are there any things on your menu that don't have anything to do with avocados? A few.
Our Sunday menu is different. We have a brunch menu.
Okay.
And that one has a few more items that don't have avocado, but you know, we make everything to order from scratch.
Yeah.
So some people who love avocado, they throw extra on there. Some people can take it off. But you know, with us being the Avocado Cafe, we didn't want to just be giant walking avocados. And much to my
I don't understand why not.
A couple friends have said we do need to have an avocado guy walking around. But, I think we'll pass on that. We didn't want to be too like you know. So there's avocados. Some people come in here who don't like avocado and are allergic to it, and totally cool. Yeah, but there are some options without avocado for those people.
I'm gonna use yours. It's pretty.
Don't like avocado.
Sure. Are we ready to put this all together?
We're ready to do the transfer, man. So, on the whole, make it fun, jump right in. So I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you that. And it's literally you're just. Oh, I'm sorry. I said I was gonna give it to you. There's this.
Pick this up.
Here you go. Yeah. So you're just going to. I would put recommendation. Put this down and just kind of scoop it into there. So I'll hold it up for you so you can get a little easy action.
So we're gonna just scoop
it in there, man. Just right into the container. You're gonna want to kind of spread it out as you go to make sure that we don't put too much in. So periodically use the back side of it and kind of push it down. Yeah, because you want to flatten it down. We want to make it as compact as possible.
So it holds its form.
So it holds its form, yeah. Because if we don't, we'll flip it over and then we'll open it up.
I think I can grab it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, here, let me let go.
All right.
All right, he's got it.
There we go. I'm flying solo.
On the wheel.
Oh my goodness. Coming to the pros taught me how much I don't know, and this is good because now I'm getting better.
Now you know. The more you know.
The more I know.
It's a graphic. Can we assume a lot about your graphic abilities and just be like, expect doves to fly out or something?
No, we should not expect
that.
No.
All right. No, I'll tell you, in all honesty, over the years, I've had opportunity to train friends and just to like train people who were like, hey, teach me. You're doing really good.
Thank
really
you.
well. You're both doing good for the people, and then you're also doing well cooking.
Sure.
I know you got
okay, I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get it.
Can I play with it a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
See, it's good. This is one of those. I'm treating it as if it was at the cafe.
Yes.
You know what I mean.
If it was at the cafe.
If it was at the cafe.
Hey, I'm gonna get one of these and start making my roast.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh.
So how about we do this, because this will keep the heat on it. We're going to grab it, we're going to flip it, we'll see how her roast turns out, and then we'll put yours on. Dude, I'm telling you, that's Felicia,
beautiful.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. All right,
if there's one thing I can do, it's make an avocado roast.
All right, so
Something to put on your
on the
recipe.
whole, I want you to walk away knowing I did this. I'm giving it all to you. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab it, you're going to pop it on, you're going to hold it, and you just flip it over.
Okay.
Are you comfortable doing that?
Yes, I think I can do this.
All right, man.
Possibly.
I know you can.
Okay, so it's in the middle.
Perfect. All right, so now we're just going to leave it on for now.
Okay.
Leave it on for now. We're going to move it on over. And we're just going to make sure that it kind of cools a little bit. So you don't want it cold. You don't want it cool, but you do want it like not so hot that it's going to flop out.
Sure.
Plus that will keep the heat. It keeps cooking it. That's another good. Good job.
Oh man.
I mean, when you go last, right?
You learn from everybody else.
Now I know.
Oh, that's awesome. God, these avocado roses, man. And I know for a fact that for our podcast app viewer or listeners, we'll have a link to come on the video, so you need to watch this.
Ladies, come on and see how cute these guys are too. I think Andrew's spoken for this.
I am spoken for, but one of us is.
For you guys, but Tripp is available.
Thank
Look,
you.
and I made a pretty roast.
Phone
Yeah, you
number in
did,
the bio.
Felicia, that's
Oh my
good.
God, that's
how mine was supposed to look, and that's closer to what yours looked. No, that's actually.
No, that's beautiful.
Because it's, she just did it.
Beautiful.
It's a contest, ma'am, and we need to have a winner.
No participation trophies.
None.
Awesome. Here we go.
All right, cool. So what I want us to do, here's my guy right here. You're gonna scoop this dude under here when the time's right, and then we're gonna pop him on. I really like how yours turned out, man.
Oh.
So you're gonna kind of grab. And this is one of those like Indiana Jones moments. You want to be as careful, but as you just did right there. He knocked it. There was no delay. Done. All right. He committed.
I learned something today.
He's like, the sooner I do this, the sooner he'll stop telling me how to do it. So, got it. That was good.
Good mentorship.
All right, man. So what you're going to do is you're going to scoop this guy with this dude. Again, terminology, industry. And you're going to gently slide him right on top.
All right, come on, dude.
We're the parsley.
So we're going to put him where? On top?
Right in the center, man. Yeah. Just perfect. Slide him off.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right, man. So this is some parsley. Just kind of sprinkle it all over the place.
Pictures of this too while we're in the action here, because it's super cool.
So this goes into the whole like, what do you consider fancy? We've been to and we've seen like whenever you watch those like high society restaurant shows, they have like two things on a plate.
Which is exactly what we are.
Yeah, exactly. They have like the two things on one white plate. I like to fill it out, but perfect, man. But have a little thing. Yeah, dude, you did it.
Okay.
That's it. It's
fancy.
Love it.
Yay! You cut it up. You cooked it up. I saw you flip some things.
Look how easy that is.
I flipped 1 cube of zucchini.
That's
it went
the cube,
on the
though.
top of the pan and just went out.
There's a restaurant thing called the cube theory. There's only one that really counts. All the other food just like, man, put that 1 cube. He did it. He got it. Nailed it. All right, man. So you got it. So this is a super simple, easy dish to do. If you feel somewhat comfortable, or if you commit, then you can knock this bad boy out in under 15 minutes.
What doesn't suck?
Oh, man.
In general?
Let's go with, this is the avocado super center of the world.
Ooh.
We can go as in general as you want.
What doesn't suck? People, man. I love people. I mean, we meet interesting people like yourself just by being, and this is the whole existential existing.
Yes.
Fundamentally, people are good. They don't suck. I have faith. So that's my final answer.
It.
Final answer, people don't suck.
On an off day here at the cafe, depending on who comes through, I would probably disagree with that.
Unless you're one of
us. You know, to me, what does not suck is kindness.
Yeah.
General caring about other people and being kind, regardless of if you like the person or not.
Yes.
Being kind does not suck at all.
That's a good answer.
We are at the Avocado Cafe here in San Antonio, up 35. Thank you so much for having us, welcoming us into your it is a home, right?
It is a home.
This is a home. Make sure to come out and check this place out. Absolutely 10 out of a million out of 10 would recommend. Not everything sucks, and we just got reminded of a bunch of stuff that doesn't suck, and we're glad we got to talk a lot about why.
Thank you
so much for having us, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Andrew.
Awesome. All right, we will see you tomorrow.